everyone, I'm Matt Lynch, and here's how I see it. And yes, the masterminds in Washington, D.C. that brought you Common Core are now bringing you transgender bathrooms. But how did they get away with this? They have no legal right to force your local schools to have transgender bathrooms. In fact, it's going to get a lot worse, folks. I looked up at the website, genderfluid.com. You can go there yourself, genderfluid.com. There are over 100 different genders that are now demanding to be recognized. Abigender, Armagender, Burstagender, Demiflux, whatever that is, Gender Fluid, Gender Punk. Oh, and I love this one. It's called Hydrogender. What is hydrogender? Hydrogender is a gender which shares qualities with water. Okay. So these genders are all want to get recognition, and Washington's going to force you to do it. They do it, and how do they do it? With bribery and intimidation. They actually use the Federal Department of Education to force your local school board to accepting these crazy rules, just like they force you to accept Common Core. You know, we've heard many times that Common Core is voluntary. Sure, it's voluntary, but if you don't follow Common Core, you don't get the money. And the same way with these transgender bathrooms. But you know, just how much money does the federal government give to your local schools? You know, in Ohio, it's not very much. You can go to the Ohio Department of Education website, or just go to mattlynch.com. You can go right up here in the corner to mattlynch.com, and it'll take you right to the link that will in turn take you to the website for Ohio Department of Education, where you can see how much your school district gets from the federal government, because on a per student basis, it's not very much. In most school districts, it's well below 5%. In my school district, it's only about 3%. That's right, only 3% of federal monies come to my local school district. And that's only about $300. So why would I want my teenage granddaughter to be forced to go into a bathroom with a teenage boy for $300 a year? No, I would say no to that. And I think most parents would say no. And like I said, it's going to get a lot worse when they want to go into the locker rooms with the girls as well. And believe me, that is part of the program. Look, enough is enough. And I'm sad to say we don't hear much from Congress on this. We hear very little from my congressman, in fact, nothing at all from my congressman, do-nothing Dave Joyce of the 14th District. Some congressmen are standing up, though. Jim Jordan and Trey Gowdy and some others, actually a total of 78 Republican congressmen actually wrote a letter to the U.S. Department of Justice and to the president saying, no, you can't do this. I'd like to see some legislation, but at least they wrote this letter. Of course, my congressman, do-nothing Dave, he didn't bother to sign the letter. But there are others that want you to go right along with it. In fact, the Charlotte Observer, the newspaper in North Carolina that supported a lot of this nonsense, they actually put out an editorial just this past week in which they say, you better get used to it. Yeah, they say, look at this. Get used to male genitalia in girls' locker rooms, even if it's, quote, uncomfortable. Yeah, well, you know what? Most teenage girls would be uncomfortable to have the teenage boys in the bathroom, and we've got to bring it to an end and stop this from happening. And we can stop the Department of Education from doing this simply by getting rid of the Federal Department of Education and taking that federal money and block granting it to the states. That means they just send a check with no strings attached, no strings for Common Core, and no strings for for transgender bathrooms, as crazy as that may be. And let the teachers and the school boards, and most importantly, the parents decide what's going to be going on. Now, if you agree with this, contact your congressman, certainly, but you can do more. This June 4th, Saturday, June 4th, right here in Northeast Ohio and across the country, it is Don't Target Our Daughters Day. I'm sure you've heard that Target stores have gone along with this nonsense, and so there's demonstrations all across the country this Saturday, June 4th, this coming Saturday, June 4th. In Northeast Ohio, it's at 12 noon at the Target store at 6850 Ridge Road over in Parma. I encourage you to go there. It'll only last for about an hour. I'll be there, Matt Lynch, along with many other speakers, encouraging you so you can see other folks of a like mind, so we can take the control of our country back and the control of our kids' education back. You know, I've been saying for a long time that we've been giving up our life, our liberty, and certainly our education, and now our bathrooms to the federal government. Well, I'm not going along with it, and neither should you. I look forward to seeing you on Saturday, June 4th, out at the Parma Target store. And until then, this is Matt Lynch, and that's how I see it.